biology, we often talk about what genes do, and this video attempts to clarify what this means. For example, when we talk about an individual who has inherited a gene for albinism, for example, what do we mean? What genes actually do is direct the synthesis of proteins. This may not sound like much. It may help to consider the diversity of proteins and protein functions. Hemoglobin, the molecule in your red blood cells that transports oxygen, is what we call a transport protein. You have motor proteins that contract to move your skeleton. A receptor is a protein on the cell membrane or within the cell that binds to a specific molecule, such as a hormone or a neurotransmitter, and elicits some sort of response from the cell. Hormonal proteins are responsible for sending signals from one part of your body to another. Pigments are also proteins and give us our distinctive skin, eye, and hair coloring. Your immune system has many defensive proteins that serve to recognize invaders and launch an attack. So, let's think a bit about what we call the central dogma of molecular biology, which is really how DNA directs the production of proteins. It's important to appreciate the fundamental structure of DNA. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. We often refer to the double helix structure of DNA, which basically means we can think of the molecule as looking like a twisted ladder. On this ladder, the sides consist of alternating sugars and phosphate groups. The rungs of the ladder are the nitrogen-rich or nitrogenous bases, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine, often represented as A, G, C, and T. These bases are joined by relatively weak hydrogen bonds. So, how do we go from A, G, C, T to a functioning protein? This animation illustrates protein synthesis, beginning with the unraveling of the DNA molecule at the site of a gene to be translated to protein. As the molecule unwinds at the target site, an enzyme known as RNA polymerase, represented in green, aids in creating a piece of single-stranded RNA known as messenger RNA. This messenger RNA serves to carry the message of the genetic code out of the nucleus where the DNA is and into the cell cytoplasm. At the site of protein synthesis, messenger RNA unites with little organelles called ribosomes, which are also composed of RNA. Based on the genetic code as revealed by this messenger RNA, individual transfer RNAs, the cloverleaf structure represented here, bring amino acids to be added to the new and growing protein strand. So fundamentally, what is happening is that the AGTC language is being translated into a language of amino acids. Amino acids are joined in protein synthesis in peptide chains, which then bend, twist, and often combine with other peptide chains to give us functioning proteins. When we observe sexual dimorphism, by which I mean any case in which males and females of a species are distinct in appearance, we can attribute this to different sex hormones at work in the body. The complex interplay of sex hormones can fundamentally be traced back to an organism's genetic code and the products of protein synthesis. Testosterone is an androgen, or male-specific hormone, whereas the estrogens are female-specific. And to think these dramatic physical differences all boil down to relatively small differences in protein structure.
Nobody's falling in love. Everybody here needs a shove, and nobody's getting any touch. Everybody thinks that it means too much, and nobody's coming undone. Everybody here's afraid of fun, and nobody's getting any